Hello, my name is Sandra, and welcome to my channel From Lack to Legacy. On this channel, we're all things money, investing, and mindset. In particular, how to go from a scarcity mindset to a mindset of abundance. Now, if that sounds like something that you're interested in, of course, you know you're welcome to stay. If this is your first time here, please like, subscribe, and share the channel. If you've been here before, you already know the drill. Just hit some of the buttons down below. It doesn't matter which button, all the buttons work. And they send a message to the YouTube algorithm that people are watching this content, that it's valuable, and they will push it out to other sisters who might be interested in the same things that we're talking about. So let me see who's here. Hey, Poetry. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. You all know who's with me today. My delightful sister who is in San Miguel, April from Positively Prill. If you haven't caught her channel, please right now stop what you are doing. I need you to go over to her YouTube channel. I'm posting it right here. The link is in the chat. Please go over and subscribe to my sister's channel, because if you like this kind of content, you are definitely going to enjoy her content. That's how we got here today. I was watching one of April's videos, and when I tell you she was keeping it a buck, she was keeping it a buck. She was talking about the soft life struggles. And you all know what soft life is. Everybody may have their own definition of soft life. But if you've been on Instagram, TikTok, or any of it, you've probably seen, all the soft life travel girlies jetting off to all these exotic locations. They got their expensive bags, baby. They riding first class. They drinking champagne. They getting flued out, all of it. And that's a part of it. I would be lying if I said lounge life is not a part of this life. It is. Right. But there are other things. And so when I watched April's video, I was like, oh my God, this girl is over here telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So please check out her video. It's Soft Life Struggles. Yes. And the surprising downside to soft life, because there is, like with anything in life, life be life and out here. Right. So when I saw April's video, I was like, girl, yep, we got to chat. Because I believe in telling the whole story. I think it's a disservice to our community to only show like the upside. To see you, every time I see you, you got a cocktail in your hand and you're on a rooftop somewhere. Girl, no, there are some real life things that happen. And so let me get out the way. Without further ado, let me allow April to get in here and introduce herself. And April, do you mind sharing all your social media stuff so folks know where to find you?
Yeah, of course. So first, that music might be competing with our voices, so we want everybody to hear what we have to say.
I got you.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Yeah. So hello again. My name is April Thatch. They call me Prill. My channel is at Positively Prill here on YouTube. I do have an Instagram with the same name, but I don't even have a profile picture. I'm working on that. All right. Keep me in your prayers, saints. But yeah, on my channel, I really, as you mentioned, I am my earlier content was about how I left, that proverbial good job and just some of the experiences that I had, and not just focusing on the good ones. I had a little lightweight identity crisis. I realized I didn't know who I was. I was a workaholic. So naturally I left corporate and I started 4 businesses, including a nonprofit. But when I really slowed down and got to know myself with the help of, as we were talking about earlier, just seeing really Stephanie Perry just be so free and be so just like herself, I'm like, wait a minute. And then seeing all of the other Exodus sisters, just like, whoa, But yeah, I was a people pleaser. I was a type A personality. I chased all of the, Black excellence, and I checked everything off the list, and I really, really lost myself. So it's been October 2018, I believe October 19th, 2018, I set out on this journey of, I call it my path to self-discovery, but what I'm doing now, and that's what's on my channel, is showing my journey of liberation, beginning really with that video that I made that I'm starting over. It was just a couple minutes, and then the soft life struggles. But yeah, I truly share both the highs and the lows of my path to self-discovery, my journey towards liberation, and just really working hard towards, hold on, that was wrong. Not working hard towards, but honoring the commitment that I made to myself to build a life that is, again, full of joy and ease, and where I am fully liberated. So that's what's going on over here.
Girl, I'm telling you, when you talk, I still get chills because here's why I think this work is so important, Apryl. Because when I watched your video, I was like, oh my God, this girl is telling my story. And I know that if I connect like that, if you're telling my story, I cannot imagine how many other Black women's story you're telling. Because Black excellence was a real thing, girl. And I say was, like that thing needs to be dead and buried
Yes,
because
yes,
it's
yes.
killing.
For
It
real.
was killing us. We were chasing this proverbial perfection. And I'm telling you all right here, right now, the biggest, fastest dream killer you're ever going to encounter is perfection. Stop it
Yeah,
right here, right now.
right.
April and I talked about this before the camera even came on. I was like, girl, nope, we're not doing it. Everyone's saying, girl, is my hair okay? Child,
Look,
child,
one
we
side,
here.
these curls are unpredictable. Look, one side, one eyebrow be acting right. It is what it is,
Mama,
you know.
would you,
That's
we
real
we
life,
gonna
though.
talk about eyebrows. We're not
Yeah.
gonna talk about eyebrows, but that part, I think it was so ingrained in us from such an early age that you had to go twice as fast, twice as long, and you all, that is a killer. It's
Yeah,
a killer. It's a formula that will set you on a path to destruction,
yeah.
burnout, and all of the crazy. And so we want to just say, and I know my goal is to let you in and see for real. So when you see the glow, when you see us smiling, that's real. It's real. It is
Yes.
real.
Yeah.
Disconnecting from the matrix in whatever way works for you and chasing and finding your real joy the same way with the same vigor that we chase down Black excellence.
Right.
Ladies,
Yeah.
we pivoted for real. We're chasing down joy.
Yeah.
We're chasing down ease.
Yes.
We're chasing down the things that bring us peace. And
Mm-hmm.
so along with that, that is totally achievable, but there are some down, there's some life and things that happen. So
Yeah.
tonight, April and I are going to talk about how moving abroad has helped improve our mental health,
Mm-hmm.
physical health, creative endeavors, our finances, and even our entrepreneurial journeys. And so along with that, just like along with anything, girl, it's going to be some highs, it's going to be some lows. So if that's something that you are interested in, I am so glad you are with us tonight. Hey, poetry. Hey, oh, hey, Sam. Look, Sam is in Mexico too. Black Women Build Wealth.
Oh, I've heard that name.
She's got a conference coming up. She's got a summit coming up in November.
Oh,
Y'all better
oh,
get over to my YouTube community tab and go get you a seat because she's going to tell you, she's got a whole litany of women over there that are going to tell you how to get your money right. And so if
nice.
anybody tells you it don't take money to live this life, I'm telling you right now, that's a lie. You don't have to have $1 million, but you do need to have your money straight.
Yes.
Hey, life
Yes.
creator in spaces and places out there. That looks like a new name to me. Welcome, sister.
That's a good
Don't forget,
name.
isn't that a cool name?
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, and share. Go over and hit April's channel as well. Hey, Rebloom Room, Cat. Cat is in San
Hi.
Miguel. Hey,
Yeah, I
Cat.
know. We were together at the brunch today.
That's
She's
that's a
adorable.
joy. We could
She's
count that in
adorable.
our joy column where we
Yeah.
can meet up with sisters out on the road. Tanisha, I hope I'm saying that right. Diane, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Meryl Love. And I'm going to post Marilyn's link too, because Meryl Love, you all know if you've ever been to any of our lives, y'all know this show does not go on without Marilyn. None of this even exists without Marilyn because Marilyn is the glue. And she's right now raising money for Alzheimer's research. So please I hope you're feeling benevolent.
Yeah.
Hit that link and help our sister reach her goal. Marilyn has been raising money for Alzheimer's for years, and she's never missed her goal. And so we don't want this to be the first year
Right.
that she misses her goal because she is so close. She is so close. So hey D from H&D. Hey Yvette, that's my
Hey,
sister.
Dee.
I love y'all. I'm so glad you all are here. So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to get right to it, sister. Let's start with And I think it's probably the easiest one to talk about is how your mental health, because we all, I think that's one we talk about more often.
Hmm.
How has your mental health, just your overall spiritual health, how has that improved now that you are in beautiful? Can I tell the people where you are?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, she's in beautiful, sunny San Miguel. And when I tell you, I
Yeah.
cannot wait to get back there, April.
Yes.
I was there recently, and you and I didn't get a chance to connect
I
since this.
know. Yeah.
I cannot wait. So, talk to the people. What happened for you? I know you alluded to some of it in the intro, but talk to us about how your mental health and spiritual health have improved as you disconnected from the matrix.
Yeah. So I think before it got, as you mentioned in the Soft Life Struggles video, it got a little bit like it took a little bit of a dip. Okay, you were talking about trading. It took a it took a nosedive. Oh my goodness, because and if we just back it up a teeny bit to talk about when you mentioned Black excellence, I
Yeah.
just had to, I would ask myself at different times in my life, like, who told me that I should like these things? Who told me that I should work this job? Who told me what this, checklist is of Black excellence? And then I had to ask myself, like, whose life am I living right now? And when I came here for a retreat, because as we were talking about, San Miguel is such a, like, it's a special, special place. It's like a magnet, either it's going to just like pull you in and you will really see how, just like how special it is, or you're going to be like, oh, okay, that's cute. It's not your speed. Right. So when I came here for a retreat at Casa Elm, so shout out to Michelle Wedderburn at Casa Elm. I went to a retreat, and I, as I was explaining to a couple of the women today at the brunch, the way that I allowed someone else and other things to hold space for me. I'm always the one holding space for other people. I'm always the dependable one. People know, they call me, they ask for the advice. If I say yes, to doing something, I'm gonna, I'm gonna do it. From Cleveland, you know how it is. Like, our word, please. That's our,
Mhm.
our word
Yep.
is our bond,
Good
right?
Midwestern values, good Midwestern solid values. You do what
Hello.
you say what you're gonna do. Yep.
Yeah. And so I didn't have that. That her beautiful, beautiful team that she has there, just they took care of everything. And I'm like, oh, I like, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. So when I came back to Phoenix, or went back to Phoenix after being here in San Miguel, I'm like, I'm getting a housekeeper. I'm cooking only when I feel like it. So I'm gonna have me a little personal chef come to my house. I'm gonna have all of these things. Girl, why, when the housekeeper would be here, I would not let her touch anything. I wouldn't let her go in my bedroom. I wouldn't let her do the laundry. I was washing the dishes. I was doing, and she would just kind of like cock her head. She's like, this
Mhm.
lady is weird. And I had to have like an emergency phone call with my therapist, because I'm like, what is going on? I've been prepping for this life where things are focused on me, where I'm doing for myself without feeling guilt, without having to, oh, well, let me justify it, or this money could have been used for something else, or I deserve it, going down this checklist to convince myself that I should do this. I said I wanted 2024 to be the year where I do things for myself and I don't have the guilt. And I started that in 2023. So here I am in this, it was really empty at the time, but this beautiful home in this beautiful city. And I have these things that I said that I wanted, and I'm not letting this lady cross the threshold of my door. And it was because in that moment, again, we have been conditioned. Our lives are manifestations of our experiences. Some of the things that we have been told that we were born into in our family. We have cultural things, we have societal things, we have just everyone else's input telling us who we should be, what we should want, and telling us how worthy we are as well. And in that moment, no matter how much self work I did before that, to be faced with the reality of this is the life I'm living this dream life, and do I need to go get a prescription? Does she need to call in a prescription to Mexico? Because the way my central nervous system was set up, I'm just like, what is going on? So that's why I made that video that was soft life struggles with the question mark, because it's really like soft life struggles, like, huh? Because as you mentioned, we just see all of these great, people
Yep.
show you all of the great things, but that leaves us feeling like, I know I felt like I was alone. I did not know anyone in Exodus Summit or anything like that. So I was doing it alone because no one in my world, they were like, yeah, we don't get it. You done got, these 50, 11 million degrees and certifications. You are at this good job, things like that. And so I didn't have the support. But when all you show is like the great parts, it has us feeling like, well, what's wrong with me?
Yep.
you
Yep.
know?
Like we're doing it wrong. Like, wait a minute, what's wrong with me? And girl, did you find this? I would hide that instead of initially, I would cry. There's a whole transition time.
Yeah.
But I,
Yeah.
I found that I would try to hide that. And it's like, no, 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 we're not going to do that. We're not doing that. I'm not going to be a prisoner
Right.
in paradise. We're
Right.
going
Oh,
to
I like that. Prisoner in
we're going to
paradise.
tell it exactly like it
Yeah.
is. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, my mental health took a dip at first. But then I began to, as I mentioned to you before we hopped on, like I didn't realize that I wasn't breathing until I got to San Miguel. It's almost like, obviously I was breathing, but not like taking those deep breaths, like inhaling. I was alive, but I wasn't living life. I was so just, and again, this is with the self work, but I still was like, I had to become familiar and be introduced to this new version of myself, and to give myself the grace and not beat myself up, not fall into like, the old habits of what I would do when I felt like this level of anxiety or just this level of discomfort. But yeah, no, I I feel emotionally safe here, and I am turning into the person that I was always meant to be. That was just like, everything in my world told me I need to conform, and that, why can't, I was telling earlier, like my sister, I have 3 sisters. They are so much alike. And then there's me. And I would hear all the time, like, why can't you be like your sisters? Even at school, the teachers, because the way that we stair stepped, we ended up usually with a lot of same teachers. Like, oh, your sister was so this and that. And I was a creative person. I loved making worlds. Just, I would be in the park or climbing up in a tree, and I was just in a whole different world. I love to read books and do puzzles and color. And, I just saw the world was just so bright and full of possibility. And I had no idea that there was nothing wrong with me, that something made me different. And that is one of the things that, in my upcoming coaching program, that we are going to celebrate our uniqueness, these things that make us unique, that typically made us stand out, which meant that we were, like bad things. Like, so yeah, here my mental health it has improved so much. And it's not just here, because a couple of weeks ago I went back to Phoenix to celebrate my son's 29th birthday. And this version of me,
Wait. Well, show. Stop the presses. Put a T in it. You said your who is how old? What? What did you say? You
yes,
said,
yeah.
what did you say that one more time?
Yeah, my son, he just turned 29 at the end of September.
Girl, bye. I don't care what y'all say. If that didn't make you stop and say, girl, I need to get whatever it is she eating and drinking, that what?
That's
Oh my
this is my
God.
special blend of liberation lotion. Okay.
Okay.
That's what I got. Right.
The glow is
Right.
real. Now
Yeah.
that I'm trying to tell y'all something, y'all better take note. If you are sitting at home and you are sitting on your couch, and remember when you used to jump rope? At least I did.
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
be
Me
going
too.
like this, trying to
Yeah.
decide if
Double
you're
dutch.
gonna. Mama, if
Yeah.
that's you sitting on the couch trying to decide if you're gonna jump into the rope, you better take a look at this sister's face. She just said she got a 30-year-old. Hey, I need when we gonna talk off camera, because I'm gonna need your skincare. I'm gonna need what you eating and drinking, because You
Yeah.
look fabulous, sister. And I'm telling y'all that glow is
Mhm.
real.
Yeah.
And it it has a lot to do with, I think for me anyway, April, just to piggyback, is
Mhm.
that I don't worry about a ton of the things I used to worry about in the US. Is that the same? Have you found that to be true? It's like the things
Yes.
from walking down the street. I don't worry about anybody trying to take my purse. I don't
Right.
have to put on armor when I go
Right.
outside. I don't have to worry about somebody breaking into my house when I'm not home. It's like all
Mhm.
these tons of things that have been lifted off of me.
Mhm.
It allows you. I don't think we realize the scowl sometimes. You
Right. Yeah.
listen. It's we are not breathing. We are
Right.
not living.
Right.
April, I swear to you, and I'd get excited. I have to calm my little self down because when you were talking it, I was like, she understands me.
Mhm.
She is having a parallel experience. We've had this, and we never met. We never
Yeah.
spoke before.
Yep.
But being able to disconnect from that thing, let that house go, that girl, that's
Mhm.
what allows you the glow. So y'all, the glow is
Yeah.
not by accident. I'm laughing and joking with April about her skincare regimen, but baby, that's a glow from within. That's
Right.
from within to the
Yes.
outside. Yes.
It is
Somebody said
releasing the
that's the
things.
liberation glow.
That's
Girl, go
right.
ahead. That's the
That's right.
liberation glow.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? Something else too is that I want, when you talked about the scowl, it's funny because I remind myself, like every now and again, like relax your face. So everybody's listening right now. I want you to like get in, like just relax your face completely. The fact that you had to do that meant that you have like this, it's like a tension. Like you, when you mention like the scowling, it may not be like, like that, but like there is tension in our faces. And the things, it doesn't mean that every place we are that it's this utopia. When you mention like you don't worry about your purse or you don't worry, like people breaking in your house, I'm sure that that probably happens, everywhere in the world. However, that's not what I think about. Like I don't leave
Mhm.
my house saying like, okay, well let me boop, 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 set the 10 alarm. Now this door has it has 9 locks. Like they don't play here. I mean, it's built in. Like when I start turning, it's like choo 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 choo. And I have an electric fence and I have like a 12-foot high wall. However, I was walking in Central with a new girlfriend of mine. That's another thing we got to talk about. We have girlfriends. Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Kat. We already had our conversation about relaxation earlier today. But we were walking in Central. We had done some thrifting, some sightseeing. We were walking in Centro, and I'm like, it's probably like 9 o'clock at night. People were out walking. My thought was not. And I live in a historic neighborhood in Phoenix. That would be considered, a good neighborhood. Would I be walking? Girl, no. Hell to the no, no, no. I'm not
Yeah,
like, no, no,
that's the
no,
truth. And I
no.
know we didn't live, I didn't live in the hood, y'all. I lived in a solid middle class neighborhood in Chicago. I knew my neighbors, but the way I was brought up in the city was you keep your head on a swivel.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that,
Yep.
you can find yourself a victim.
Right.
You can find yourself on the other end of a crime,
Yes.
unbeknownst to you. Not that the city is any more, well, it is a little bit more dangerous. It is
Yes.
inherently more dangerous than Shanghai. But you said it, crime can happen anywhere. But the fact is that there is a difference. People will make you believe. I think the US has done a great job of making you think every place else in the world is so dangerous.
Yeah.
And in fact, I have found that that is not wholly true. Does crime happen? Yeah, of course it does. But I'm not worried. In Chicago, my house got broken into twice, girl, and they tried a third time. That was real. I have left my door open here in Shanghai, and I'm not even worried about anybody touching this doorknob because there's a whole different kind of energy and morality and
Mm-hmm.
just this sense of community
Yeah.
that, and there's this sense of pride and honor where you don't want to bring shame on your family. How dare you go into somebody else's
Right.
space? And so that thing is at play. So not that, and I don't want to imply at all that where we are panaceas and these are
Right.
utopias with crime.
Right.
They do,
Yeah.
but I'm not worried. That's like you said, April. It's
Right.
not at the forefront of my mind. Whereas when I
Yeah.
went to work in Chicago, I always knew. I was like sitting at my desk, like, girl, I hope everything that when I get back. I hope. Other than that, State Farm gonna have to cut me a check because it was a real possibility, and I don't think about that. And I think that's my
Yeah.
point. It's not at the forefront. Am I
Right.
careful? Of course. But
Yeah.
can, like you said, I can walk all times of day or night, girl. And if I don't dye this gray up here, baby, if I let the grays come out, they will open doors. People are so respectful. I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there's this whole honor of,
Hmm.
at least in Chiang Mai, people honor the elderly. They take care of children in a way that I don't necessarily always see in the US. You get old over there, baby, you have become a liability, and
Right.
you might get victimized because you're not
Right.
moving fast enough.
Right.
And so that's what I mean in terms of that's one of those things you can kind of put down that it's not at the
Hmm.
forefront of your mind. And I know that it's like that in Mexico.
Oh yes, girl. Look, and here's something else too. This is so. I did not expect this from the people that I heard from. Oh, hi Terry, thank you. Um, I when I said, okay, well, I'm moving to San Miguel de Allende, and what is the first thing when you tell people you're moving to Mexico? Because I know they said you. What is the first thing that they say? What about the, fill in the blank, girl?
you mm,
And this came from not any of my friends or family because they're well traveled. This came from some Mexican Americans that had not even been to, they don't go to
wow.
Mexico because it's so dangerous. Because as you mentioned, the US will have us thinking that we're only safe in the US. And as Black people, as Black women, that's not necessarily true. And there's a lot of propaganda on TV. And if you think about it, what does the rest of the world see typically when they think of like Black women, usually like that loud, sassy, and then Black
Yep,
men are thugs and we just all live in the hood and we, tear the club up all the time. What do we see about Mexicans, Colombians, Brazilians? It's on Narcos, it's on, like, you know what I mean? So
yep,
we have also taken in the propaganda, or we only see the negative aspects. Whereas when you come here, you realize, like, wait, what? Like,
yep.
because they're like, well, where are you gonna live? Are you gonna live someplace safe? I'm like, yeah. Like, you have
I
no
know.
idea. There is conquistador. I'm talking about Spain, gold blocks, Mina Pinta, Santa Maria, whatever, money here in Mexico.
Come
And
on.
that's, you talk about generational wealth. Like the street that I live on, these are like family homes. They've been in the family for a long time, and like
Mm.
these compounds. So I just chuckle, like, yeah, okay, well, good. Then you stay there because I don't want everybody coming to San Miguel ruining
Stop
things.
trying to convince them, April. Stop
Right.
trying to convince them. We
Yeah.
we want you all to stay. Keep that fear
Right.
over there.
Yeah. Keep it over here.
That fear over there. This is not for you. This is not for you.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen.
Yeah. So how has it helped, would you say, your mental health?
I think you tapped into something initially when I decided that, okay, I'm going to move abroad. I want to live abroad in my retirement. I knew that was coming. I think there's this phase of letting go. And I don't know, we talk about that enough. It's letting go of the house, telling your family and friends that this is your plan, selling or letting go of your car, all of those things. Your mental health really does kind of take a little dippity do
Hmm.
because I was on the couch crying most of the time because I hadn't really anticipated that there is this sense of loss, even
Hmm.
retiring. You change, your
Hmm.
roles are changing. I am no longer this productive. I get up every day with my cup of coffee and go teach little babies. That everything was changing, and it was changing so quickly. And for me, the process was really a year or better. And
Hmm.
even with that amount of time, I didn't anticipate the impact of
Yeah.
all of these monumental pivots and changes, and that I would feel a little sadness. Girl, I literally cried the night that I left my house, the very last night. But after I thought about it, I was like, this is appropriate. This is
Hmm.
wholly appropriate to mourn the passing of a whole, you've been in this house 25 years. And so if I could say anything to a sister who's going through that, don't let those initial tears trick you into thinking, oh, this was a bad choice. Why?
Right.
Because if it's a good choice, I would be happy. If it's got to be a
Mhm.
bad choice, that's why I'm crying. Or no, you have to say goodbye to that life in order to step into this new life. You,
Mhm.
I couldn't serve both. It's like there was no way I was going to be able to still maintain that whole, Black excellence, and I need to be doing this, and I'm serving everybody else, and serve Sandra.
Right,
And it was
right.
time to serve Sandra. I was like, oh, you know
Mhm.
what? That I was clear about. It was time to serve me. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know how this is going to look, but it meant letting go of so many things that had stabilized me for years.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
didn't anticipate the sadness that
Right.
would come with turning over your keys, girl, because the keys to your car, that's your whole independence. What you talking about? Give up my
Yeah.
car.
Yeah. I put that on
That's
my video. Yeah, and I didn't even drive. So I have my car. I got rid of my car June 30th of 2024. I got my car July 27th of 2020. So I'd had the car like what, 4.5 years? Wait a minute. Yeah, 4.5 years. I didn't even put 15,000 miles on that car. So why did I feel like, it's like we don't, like, we expect to be, maybe we're going through photos, or, maybe we see some items and we're like, oh, little such and such wore this, or we have memories attached to things. Like, we expect that. We don't, just like I was saying, when we are doing these things, we don't expect this heavy emotion that is attached to it.
yes,
It catches us
yes.
off guard. And also, let me say this too. I kept my house. Like in Phoenix, my son is in there, but I vacillate from time to time. Like, do I want to sell it? Don't I want to sell it? Do I want to rent it? And that's fine. I am so blessed to be in a financial position where I have a son who is in the financial position to pay that. And even if he, didn't choose to move in and take over the mortgage and stuff, like, I was in the financial position to just have the room to breathe. But when you start walking in the steps that you have never walked in before, this is no different than the growing pains that you feel when you are moving to any stage of your life. It
Yep.
is exciting. It is, all of these great words, but then it is also scary. You also feel like isolated. You, like, there will be so many times where, like, before, and I will put it in the group that Dee and Yolanda started, the We're Out group. It was 2024 and now it's 2025. I would be like, I'm questioning all my life decisions today. Like,
Come on. Tell the truth. Tell the whole truth.
like, why did I do this? Like, because
Yep.
you know what it is too. Something else that has changed with me is I am in touch with my intuition again. I started like I said, about a year ago, this time last year. Like, I have to learn to trust myself, because we have been, what do they call it, gaslit, and then we gaslight ourselves into thinking like, no, because this person, and even if you're not comparing, we could be comparing ourselves to us before, or even, as you mentioned, that version of our lives and ourselves that we in the future plan to have. And it just, yeah, no, there was some that, look, I'm over here rubbing my knees and rocking, let me bring my hands up, because because I'm just
Hey, girl.
like
Tell the truth.
what am I doing? Like,
Yep.
am I really doing this? And then
Yep.
I had to remember all of the things that got me excited, that led me to the decision to move,
Yep.
that I knew in my heart was true, and not allow, like you said, the tears, or um, these like fears that jump up on us, which is I think a natural thing. I think that we're not robots, so
Yep.
but that's a beautiful part about community. And that is
Yeah.
why, as you said, you were holding it in. I'm like, I cannot do this. I have to make this video and tell my business in the YouTube streets, because people think that that's like it. Okay, we've made it and now everything's great. And I did years of self work and still was just like, I don't touch my, okay, no, like just,
Yep.
I
Yep.
could, I was just like, whatever I could
Cleaning it. Wait a
control.
minute. You were cleaning up before the cleaning lady came. Did you do that one? I did that whole thing. Clean up before the cleaning lady gets to come in here because I don't want her. Girl, we are paying these people. She is
Right,
making a good living. This is her business. This is how she
right,
stays in business. This is how she feeds her family. She's
right.
a businesswoman just like me. Let this woman get in here and do what she, yeah. I did that one too. That's so bananas that we are
Yeah.
so accustomed to taking care of ourselves, doing everything, wearing the cape,
Right,
that and that whole perception of I don't want anybody to think that I'm not clean. It was a whole mind f. It was a whole mind trip, y'all. Just being comfortable with allowing somebody. April, I'm telling you, your video set me free because
oh,
even after watching you talk about it, I had a cleaning lady come. Girl, I was sitting on the couch, and y'all know I talked about this while she was here. And when I tell you, I felt so many feelings, but I'm just gonna be totally I felt so lazy. I felt chunky. Girl, I went through the whole thing. I was like, you sitting over here eating while this lady is over here working. But my sisters in the community, I went and told them, I was like, y'all, this is exactly how I felt. Those girls, and I say girls, but those
right,
ladies,
yeah, yeah.
because we
Mhm.
all young.
Right,
Listen, baby, they got me straight. They were like, this is this woman's business. She makes enough money in a day that she can feed her family for an entire week. This is not
mhm.
charity work. You aren't taking advantage of this woman. Sit down and relax. But I had to work through that whole thing because for years, and I told them this too, my grandmother was a domestic worker. Now
Mm,
here I am, two generations removed, and now I am employing. So I had to work through all of that. Like, am I
mhm.
the colonizer now? I had to go through all of it. Girl. And no, we are not. This woman has a business. She set her rates. My grandmother never set her rates. They told her what they were
Mm,
going to pay her. I mean,
mm.
she did whatever they said do. This woman comes in with a list. She tells me what she's going to do. She tells me what I'm going to pay. It's a whole different way of being. And I had to kind of work through that so that I could let her come in here, do her work,
Right.
pay her price, and sit my
Mhm.
butt down.
Yes.
Sit your butt down,
Right.
lean into the ease, lean into it. But I promise
Yes.
you, your video helped me because normally I would have just sat there and been uncomfortable and not really understood why do I feel so uncomfortable about this? What is going on? So I'm telling y'all, please go check out her video. If you are new to this living international life, and if you're having a struggle with letting your cleaning lady come in, I'm telling you, just sit with it. Sit with
Or
it.
being ashamed for I have a private chef. I just started saying that because it's the truth. She
It
works for
is what it
me
is.
and a couple other people, but she comes in and she cooks my meals. And if I'm having company or something, I say, hey, can you like she'll say, okay, I'll come over there. I mean, classically trained. And then I have another one, Chef Jackie, who is she is also uh classically trained, like they're playing instruments. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
trained, went to culinary school, like legit chefs. And she fills in the other things. If I'm having a lot of people over, I get her to cater it. So even being able to, as you mentioned, support, like I look at it this way. I don't want to block people's blessings. I don't want to be in someone's lane, me, because I have my own fears of moving into the next lane that's for me, because there's somebody else who it's their turn to move into lane. And this is just how I feel about a bunch of things. Like if you start a business, many times it's like, well, I can do this and I can do that. So you want to do it? No, there is someone who that is what they are destined to do. That
Yeah.
is their blessings, their ministry. And it was the same thing, like I said, well, I have someone to cook my meals. No, I have a private chef. And even being, okay, see, now I got, all right, calm down, earring. All right, we'll eat later. The earring said, what? What? They said, Raina's here? Wait, what? Okay, anyway. But even being okay saying that, because a couple, like,
Yes.
I will admit, when I came here, there were several conversations that I would just be quiet in, because they're like, oh, well, hopefully, well, I saved 30%. Hold on, I was about to say by switching over to I sound like a commercial, but they moved here to save money. I'm paying more money here than I pay in Phoenix. Now, my quality of life is better, but I'm not saving money here. Or they're like, well, do you have a housekeeper? Oh, yeah, she comes once a week. And then like a couple of times people have asked like, oh, well, what area do you live in? And I tell them, oh, or like, yeah, oh, so what are you cooking tonight? I was like, yeah, no, I have, I have someone that comes over and she cooks. Oh, okay. That made
I'm
me work
done.
my turtle shell. I was like, and I was telling my therapist, like, I've not felt this way in a long, hey, Dr. Linda, I have not felt this way in a long time, like 25 years ish,
Come
20
on.
to 25 years. But again, this is something that's new. So why wouldn't I revert to, like I call it my turtle shell when I just kind of step back and I just retreat because it's too much. Way too many emotions come at me at the same time. And it's just like that. Oh, okay. I didn't know that it was going like that. I was, that I had a place that was sensitive about that. But I just started last week saying my private chef, I can cook. I know I can cook. I'm a great cook. I don't feel like cooking. So guess what? Someone else is going to cook. But I used to preface things with that, like, oh yeah, oh, I can cook. Even today, I found myself saying that. I heard myself and I was like, well, I'm already in it, so I'm gonna finish it. But I heard myself. I was like, yeah, I've been cooking since I was 9 years old for my family. And I've always had to cook. And it's like, that is my instinct to, like set up the scene or to justify again why I have what I have. So that's why it is so important for us to have these conversations, for people to make videos and not view it as like I did. Well, I don't want to bring other people down, or like, I don't want to tell all my business, or, I don't want to look bad. I don't want to make people think that they shouldn't do this.
Oh my God.
I don't have the right to control other people's perceptions of me. I need to put people on to what you might expect and how you have to give yourself grace.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have to give yourself grace
You got
because
to start with permission too. You got to give yourself permission, number one, to
for
even be in
sure.
this spot, and then show yourself grace when those emotions and stuff show up, sister. But you know what strikes me about that? And I know I'm about to get in some trouble. So don't y'all go looking for April. Y'all come bring that heat right over here to me. Becky doesn't make these excuses. That's what kills me. We will do anything to kind of diminish that. Oh, we've accomplished
Mhm.
this. It's like I always hear this. Well, who she thinks she is?
Right.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I have put that to bed too. I am exactly who
Mhm.
I think I am, ma'am. That's
Right.
exactly who I am. Because what I've noticed out here in the world is that there are folks who walk through the world like, oh my God, they do it with such ease. They do it, they're not apologizing for anything. They
At
accept
all.
everything that comes their way. And it borderlines, and not even borderlines, but it always crosses over into that privilege, walking through the
Right.
world.
Oh, for sure.
And we are tippy toeing up to everything, as much labor as we've contributed, as much as we have given. Girl, no. That's one thing that is the transition. Going from that feeling like we have to explain,
Right.
justify why we have these things. We have worked. I think that's a part of the work where you get through that. And that whole thing with not being comfortable when the housekeeper is there. Sister, we're trying to help y'all speed through it.
Right.
Speed
Right. Right.
through it.
Yeah, and
Speed
just to
through it.
know to expect it because no one told me about that. And here's the thing too, there's plenty of I think people like, okay, remember we were talking about Stephanie. Like that was my introduction to like the Exodus Summit world, which has just truly like changed my life, and I'm not being hyperbolic. But I remember I would be watching Stephanie. She's like, yeah, I'll quit a job. These jobs ain't loyal. This, that, and the third. And I'm just like, it gave me
Where?
like knot in my stomach. And I'm like, I'm not I know she's not talking to me, but I'm like, the freedom that she has, like there's certain people who they hear that and they're like, yeah, because that's in their nature. Like, they kind of march to their own beat. They have that, like that self-assurance. That's just who they are naturally. Me, the way I was raised, not only in the household, but in church and being built like there, we can get so nuanced. My mother, like, I was not allowed to wear the same clothes that my sisters could wear because they were built like my mother. I'm built like my daddy's people. Pop, pop. My dad used to call me, "Oh, you're my little brick house," because so there's even things there, and we have been conditioned to not like that. It's a bad thing for us to like big up ourselves, or for us to, and not even in this like being, what is it, braggadocious. It's just us just speaking things. We have been like taught that that is not like Christian like, or
Yes,
what
Lord.
young ladies don't do, what ladies shouldn't do. So that's what we're like button up against big time. Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. So what I hope that if anybody who's listening, whether you're in the chat now, if you are in the chat, please don't forget, like, subscribe, share the channel. If you are new here, please subscribe. It costs you nothing, child. It's absolutely free. Just hit the little tiny button. Just hit the button and subscribe to the channel, and then get yourself over to April's channel, Positively Prill. Like and subscribe to the channel. It's a small thing that you can do to help encourage
Mhm.
these kinds of conversations. We want to make content that's going to be helpful to people who look like us. And if anybody
Right.
else benefits from it, God bless you too. But we
Mhm.
make this content and we have these conversations. We take the time out so that we can share our experiences so that it will make it easier for you. If this is a
Right.
dream of yours to get out here, me and April could be doing 1,000 things. Y'all know I could be outside. But I think it's important because somebody opened the door for me. I was able to get what Stephanie had to offer, what Rashida had to offer, what
Mhm.
Adelia had to offer. I feel
Mhm.
like it is almost my solemn duty to pay it forward and
Right.
elevate the culture and the community even further by offering up this total transparency, you guys. So do us a
Mhm.
favor, like, subscribe, and share so that we can continue to do this work and get more sisters disconnected from the doggone matrix and get
Oh
you
my God.
better place mentally. So don't be discouraged. If you're going through it, if you're any place on the spectrum, whether it's just a thought or you're packing up things right now, or
Mhm.
you're currently abroad, if you're experiencing any of the sadness or emotions counter to what you thought, if you thought it was
Right.
just going to be all lollipops, lip gloss, and
Right.
unicorns, it is not that today. Just understand that's a
Yeah.
part of the transitioning into this life. Trust me, 3 years later,
Mhm. Look at
baby,
you, girl. I done switched my hair up. I done got fast. I got me a little nose ring or whatever.
baby,
Look.
it gets
Look.
easier, it gets better, it gets greater. And
Mhm.
so the mental health part, I think it's the first hurdle. That was the first hurdle that I
Yeah.
came into. I
Mhm.
think the second one, though, physically, sister, you look fabulous. I don't know what's going on with you, but I promise you, y'all know if you anybody goes back and look at any videos, when I first hit the Mexican beaches, the beaches of Mexico, girl, I was like just barely 140 pounds. We're not gonna discuss what this potato salad is.
Oh my God. You see, it's like
April,
right here. Cause
we're
my
not gonna
little,
discuss.
yeah.
We're not going to
Yeah.
discuss. So when
No.
we talk
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
physical part of that too, because it's not just all mental, there's a physical aspect that comes along. And this is what I'll put out. I think if you're at home and you're just starting out or anywhere on this journey,
Mhm.
that you don't want to neglect your physical health
Right.
because this journey, anybody can do it. And I wouldn't discourage anyone, but it is so much easier. There's another level of ease if you can carry your own suitcase, if you
Mhm.
can go up and down stairs and do those physical things, trust me. And if you can't, that shouldn't stop you either, baby,
Right.
because
Right.
what a couple dollars will take care of that. I mean, a few
Exactly.
bucks, you throw a few bucks in the right direction, you can get all of it done. But what I have found is that because I'm still reasonably physically fit, I can go on excursions, I can do all this stuff for myself, and it only enhances my experience. But so the physical part I can run through the airport still, girl. I can drag a backpack, a suitcase, I can do all that stuff. But let me
Yeah.
tell you what I have not been able to master. And we'll get to the second part of that too, how to ask for help. Girl, I've been eating everything that one tag down. And for
Oh.
months, everything everything. I ate all the foods in Mexico. I ate all the tacos. I ate all the burrito. I ate it all. Then I came to Southeast Asia, girl. I ate all the noodles. I ate all the rice. And so now here I'm sitting over here 40 pounds heavier. Don't tell nobody.
Well, you're in good company because I'm about 25 pounds heavier. Yeah. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
I bet you ain't nobody telling y'all about that. Nobody tell- So I have elicited the help of another sister, and I don't even know if she's in the chat, but her name is Tracy, and I won't give away too much because I didn't ask her permission. But she has been helping Black women eat a healthier life, eat healthier,
Mhm.
a healthier lifestyle. Girl, I just got to the point where I said I had to reach out to one of my sisters and ask for some help because
Mhm.
me sitting up here making YouTube videos and sitting in my bed eating shrimp fried rice is not cutting it. My
Oh,
chin, this ain't no double chin, girl. We done reached the triple chin. I'm done. I am so done, April. How has that been for you? Have you had the same experience? Because the food out here is delicious. I don't care what nobody say.
so, what's funny, and again, I just say it, period. Like I said to you offline, like I just keep things a buck. I can't help myself, but that is honestly a reason. That's something I've been struggling with, and that has kept me from making some YouTube videos or posting them because when I look back, I'm just like, I don't like I can see the weight on my face. Now, a lot of the weight that I gained was before I got my chef and was just eating a lot of Uber Eats. And because of the way my palate is set up, I was eating from one of these 50 plus Michelin starred restaurants, okay, here in San Miguel. And I was also dealing with a lot of inflammation just
Yes.
from my body telling me like the stress that I was going through, the like the change in my diet. I got put into like stress induced, I make air quotes, menopause in like 2019, I believe. But there's doctors here. There's a doctor that I'm seeing. I go back and see her on Tuesday because none of the doctors that I went to in the US believed me. I'm like,
Mm.
look, I know that menopause clinically is when you have not menstruated for a year. I'm like, but I'm telling you, I'm ovulating. I got a lot of action going on in here. The same symptoms I get. She was like, well, no, trying to convince me that, well, when you get older, or like you gain weight when you get older. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about gaining 10 pounds in like a week and a half, like just gaining,
Yeah.
gaining, gaining, my body poofing up, just like fat, a layer of fat appearing places. And this was when I was still working out. I was still lifting heavy. And that had been something that I was dealing with for a couple years, really like right before I moved here. I think like the inflammation came because of the stress and my hormones just went completely out of whack. And I said, well, you know what? I know that I made an appointment 3-4 months ago to get in to see this doctor who is, the number one hormone specialist, in the area from here to Mexico City or wherever. And I just needed to hang on. But something that we also discussed that I think is more the answer in line with the answer that you gave is I don't have a routine yet. I
Yeah.
I had my routine in Phoenix. I walked like my 6.5 miles. I like got on my rower. I
Yep.
rode before I did my walk. I came back. I was jump roping. I lifted my weights, took my shower. I had such a routine. I don't
Yep.
have a routine yet here. And that's been like that's been more disruptive than I thought it would be. I'm
Mm-hmm.
used to this like hormones, being out of whack really like the past, like I guess, close to 2 years at this point, going up and down. But the fact that it's just like I'm not like doing like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah, you're not moving the same way. Girl,
yeah.
listen, I told Tracy, I was like, girl, here's what I know what's happening. I'm eating. When I was in Chicago, I walked with a group of lady friends. That's your accountability group. Because if you don't
Mhm.
come, they're on the phone talking about, girl, where you at? We on our 15th, we on
Yeah.
15 levels. Where are you? And not having that, my thing is like, girl, who gonna check me, boo?
Right.
I'm having ice cream in bed. Who gonna check me, boo? Don't nobody even know I'm over here eating dilly bars every night. And I am telling you, it's that change in your routine. And it was something
Mhm.
that I didn't expect.
Right,
And so
right.
the whole point of our conversation and taking each component is to help you try to anticipate some of these things so that your
Mhm.
transition could be a little more seamless. If we could just kind of yell back and say, girl, don't forget, watch out for this. Because when
Right.
I came, my whole routine changed. I worked out every morning, girl, before the sun even got up, before it even got hot. Then I would watch what I was eating. I was intermittent fasting just by
Mhm.
default because you up
Right,
working out, you're not eating.
right.
Well, so now I'm eating in bed. I'm eating, I'm eating whenever I want. And since I don't have a routine, I'm up at 3 in the morning. And why not have a little snack at 4 in the
Right.
morning? That will wreck your whole, it'll mess your whole biorhythm. It'll mess your whole metabolism up. And
Yeah.
so here I sit now, 40 pounds later, I have figured it out. But the beauty is, even though I don't have that walking group with me, I don't have my preferred
Mhm.
sister support. There are Black women out here who are doing this work. So
Yes.
now I just have to switch to a virtual accountability partner.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to
Yeah.
3 years to figure out. Now I have to just come from behind this screen because this is not going to work. It's not going to serve me running through airports, running up and down stairs, lugging this luggage, doing the things
Mhm.
I need to
Yeah.
live this a full life. I had to reach out and just confess. I was like, girl, I'm over here eating all the rice, the noodles, and the ice cream. And she was like, Sandra, we're gonna start you right away. You're gonna start eating more salad. We're gonna bulk up this diet right away. We're gonna get you on some green drinks. And when I tell y'all I had the best salad ever yesterday, April, girl, you'd have thought it was steak and potatoes, the way I chomped down that lettuce. It was so
Ugh.
good. And my body was like, thank you.
Yes,
Thank
like finally. I've had some
thank you. Thank you.
delicious salads here. I like things that I never thought to put together. Like, they love them some walnuts in San Miguel. Oh my goodness. But just like walnuts and like I had one that was a broccoli salad that my chef made that was uh it had sunflower seeds and like some, like craisin type things. Like, and here's something else too is that I tell her how I eat. So she goes and gets my organic fruits and vegetables. She gets the meats, the fresh meats. Like, again, asking for help because for a minute I was just like, well, I'll just take, as long as it's not Uber Eats. Because again, we so quickly, we just, like kind of, go to like our default settings. But how long was I that version of myself? How long did it take me to get 40 plus years to get to the version of me that that I'm getting away from? But yeah, I learned to say that it's okay to not only ask for help, but it's okay to, even if you just break it down a little bit more, it's okay to allow people to hold space for you.
Yeah.
When you have um, Black women who are of the same mind, we don't think that you're weak if you want to cry or if you just vent or like, that's not associated with weakness. That is associated with being a human. When, for me at least, I've been like on robot mode just for years and years and years. Like I was physically strong, I was emotionally strong, like you said, the cape, like I was such a Captain Save 'em, like for real, like just like
Yeah.
I'll do it. But here's something else too. When I first started doing this self-work, I had to admit eventually I liked that. I liked the feeling of being needed. I like
You
the
telling
feeling
all the
of,
story. You telling everything now, April.
yep,
Yep. Isn't
I
that
like
part
that
of it,
feeling.
girl? Yep. You like feel because then that way you're not the one who needs the help. You're
Right,
strong. You're powerful. I'm the one that gives the help. I
right,
must be doing okay because I'm the one that they come to. Girl,
right,
that is a setup. Oh my God, that was a
right.
setup.
Yes.
And I'm with you on that one, but I'm giving that up too. That's a whole we'll have to have that conversation off camera because I am are you a firstborn, April? I'm a firstborn.
No, no, I'm second. But I'm the perfect blend of my mother and father. So people always thought that I was older, just really tiny. Yeah.
Mhm,
hmm
mhm.
I'm very
I know a
responsible.
lot. Yeah, I was gonna say I know a lot of sisters who are firstborn sisters or firstborn girls in the family are often parentified, and you find
Oh yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
cast in this role that you're mommy's helper. Well, you've been mommy's
hmm
helper since you was knee high to a grasshopper. You don't know how to give up that role, and
Right.
I'm telling y'all, let it go because you cannot save everybody. That'll
No.
that will pull you. And I have had to. I'm learning to even set boundaries with my own family, with my siblings that I love. I love. But even I have to examine, why are you doing this? Are you doing
Right.
this because they really need your help? Are you really helping, or are you a crutch? All of
hmm
those things. And so somebody posted this in the chat earlier, that being away and living internationally and away from the matrix gives you the space. It gives you the time to
hmm
examine all of these things that we were on robot mode. April, y'all
Right.
are in the game. We were on robot mode. We were just
Yeah.
doing what we had always done, what we thought was working. And now
hmm
when you step away long enough to breathe and reflect, now you have time and space to be like, wait a minute, why am I doing that? And why am I it's not even that they cast me in this role. I
Right.
have stepped into this role,
Yeah.
and I wear it like a badge of honor. Since
Right.
I'm giving it back. I'm giving it back. I don't want to be strong. I don't want to be strong
No.
no more.
No.
I want to be
No.
soft. I want to
Yes.
lean into this soft life in the right way, in the
Right.
right for me. What's the right meaning of soft life for me? And it's not luxury travel, although I love
hmm
me a good luxury hotel,
Yes,
but it
ma'am.
is just putting down these roles that don't serve me,
hmm
asking for help,
hmm
leaning into that help, connecting with a
hmm
community, like you said, where I don't have to hide myself. You all understand what I'm saying. I don't have to put on this face or mask. Girl,
hmm
that's soft life, baby. That's soft life. If y'all haven't
Right.
got, that's soft life, where
Right.
you can be soft.
Right.
I don't have to have all the answers. My sister over here, she knows more than me in this area. I can lean and I can trust her because
hmm
she's on this journey with me.
Right.
That's soft life for me.
Yes. Oh,
All of
yeah.
it in
Yep.
that
And for
way.
me, it's like I've just, unfortunately, my parents both raised us to play both offense and defense, and it was just fear based. So many things were fear based. Like I said, I couldn't wear the things that my sisters were wearing because they were built different. Because, well, guys might think you're fast, or guys might check you out. And even in church, everything that's bad that happens to us is because we are not doing something that's good enough.
Ooh,
There's a lot of secrets that are within, especially the Black community. There's a lot of shame and condemnation, and whether we realize it or not, it is in many of our DNAs. Like, it is there, and it can
ooh,
be activated. And similar to what you were saying, that self-awareness, which I always say self-awareness is key. But when I realized, like, dang, I volunteer for work. I used
yep.
to really love to sit back and my whole little Outlook calendar, color coded, boop, 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 boop. Okay, well, let me see when I can move some things around, even though on like on the face value, on the surface, I'm like, well, these people were taking advantage of me. Two things can be true at the same time. They were
Tell it.
taking advantage, but also I didn't have boundaries. I was doing a lot more work than everyone else. Their expectations were that I was going to just say yes to everything, but also I'm volunteering for things. So it's not even like saying no. Because let's be for real, when they say like, oh, let me know, just let me know if it's too much. Anytime when you start saying no, that puts a target on your back, and they don't mean it. They expect you to say yes. So I'm not even talking about saying no, because realistically, we not like, you say no and it's a wrap. You're gonna start to feel some of that retaliation. But when you simply realize, like, don't volunteer, there's so many times that I'm sitting on the inside having conversations. Ooh, let me tell you what you need to do. So it's something I can do, like, blah, blah, blah. I now say that when I mean it. I've gotten control over that. I have internal dialogue, but I'm no longer like, well, no one said they'll do it, so I'll step up. I tell
Yep.
people, like, are you volunteering for work? And they'll be like, well, no, I'm not. Okay, so you rose your hand. You said, did anybody ask you? You're like, no, but it was quiet, or I've done something similar. Again, we take so much pride in being able to handle all of these things at the same time, working just night and day. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, no,
So
no.
it's such a big
Yeah.
part of our identity, and I think that you even touched on this identity crisis, because who am I really when I step away from the work, when I step away from the giving, when I step away from being the mommy on call?
Right.
But I'm gonna tell y'all, and this is we're just gonna speed through, and this is what we're hoping that the whole impact of this conversation is that you can see that if you're at any of these places, if you can identify and you see yourself in any of this talk, that girl speed past it. We already did the
Yes,
work.
right.
We
We over
already
here
did the
digging in the thing for change. Like just do like
work.
boop, the little iPass boop that you did.
Speed past it. Speed past it. We're
Right,
trying to
right.
tell you that's a part of it.
Yeah,
It's gonna come up. It's gonna happen. Girl, tell them kids no, they are not gonna
right.
die. Like my son told me, and I love my kids. When I tell you I got the best kids in the whole wide world. When I first started on this journey, I'm telling trying to prep the kids, like, and my kids are grown, y'all. I'm talking about well in their 30s. And so
Mm-hmm.
my son, he said, Mommy, you could stop right there. He was like, stop right
Right.
there. He said, we know how to
It's
get the
okay.
spaghetti out the refrigerator.
Right.
You, you prepped us for this. You prepped us for the day when you would go on about your business and have a life. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? He is absolutely right. These girl, these ninjas know how to get the spaghetti out the refrigerator.
Right.
They don't
Take that chicken
really,
out the deep freezer. Okay.
man, go on with your life. And so,
Yeah.
ladies, if this is you, I swear to you, it will not fall down. The empire will not crumble. It will not
Right.
go, it won't go to pieces. You can actually step away, turn around, look the other direction, and start to
Mm-hmm.
pursue what brings you joy. I'm telling
Right.
y'all, it's been a process. I'm 3 years
Mm-hmm.
in. It'll be 3 years for me in November. And I am finally really living in the joy, the peace,
Mm-hmm.
and the freedom. So we don't want
Yeah.
to take you 3 years. We want y'all to get
Yeah.
outside right away. As soon as that doubt show up, kick it to the curb. As
Right.
soon as that imposter syndrome show up, kick it
Mm-hmm.
to the curb,
Right.
because we've lived it for y'all. We did it for
Yeah.
y'all. Y'all better be
Mm-hmm.
paying attention.
Look, Marilyn, like, hold on, let me get my notebook here.
Marilyn, girl, Marilyn is my mentor. Marilyn is the one that told me. She said, Sandra, you are fully retired. Go sit down. Nobody told you
Mhm.
to take that on. Go sit down. Like you
Yeah.
said, stop volunteering. We do that, I think, in part because it's who we used to be. It's the cape
Mhm.
we wore. And you have to
Yeah.
be, I think you have to be very intentional now and listening to that inner dialogue, like you
Yeah.
said, April, and say no.
Yeah.
No is a complete
Oh
sentence,
my
folks.
goodness.
No.
Yes. Yep. At one point I got like a toddler, but here's the thing. I had to do like mock run-throughs with my doctor, just saying no to things. I am being 100% honest. The thought of me saying no just gave me so much angst. Like, so I would have to practice. So here's the thing. I'm working my way up to it. Okay, I'm gonna say no. What happened? So I'm gonna say no. Okay. And then guess what? You'd be like, yeah, no. And then guess what they say? Oh, okay.
Yep.
So yeah, so it
Yep.
really, and again, we have been dogged out, used, abused, chewed up, spit out, all type
Yep.
of stuff from these raggedy, toxic jobs, toxic interpersonal relationships, because our work is an interpersonal relationship. Like we have an
Mhm.
intimate relationship with our jobs, just even some of the lack of healthy boundaries, even knowing what boundaries look like for us. There's a lot that
Yep.
we don't know. And it is just like it is imperative. You'll hear me say this a lot about grace, about, just yeah, you all are getting the like the Clip Notes version, the little Chat GPT version of stuff, which is good. But this is really like, make sure that this is what works for you, because this
Yeah.
is your life. This is your journey, your path to self-discovery. And what you do is you just try things and see what sticks. We
Mhm.
are not limited to I thought you was working at such and such and such. Well, I thought you quit your job to be a, entrepreneur. Or I thought blah, blah, blah. Like, we have always had options. We have always had the ability to change because we don't see it like how you said with the palm colored folks. They walk through life expecting, like how you said with the privilege, because they have been conditioned that everything is within their reach, that everything belongs to them, where we have been conditioned that no one wants us here. We have to be smarter. We got to work harder. We're just going to have to work harder. We're just going to have to, be backed into a corner because you got a pervy, boss, or we're just going to have to smile and when someone is stealing our ideas, and we're going to have to do this like tightrope walk of being smart but not too smart, okay, because we don't want to give our ideas away because somebody's going to steal them, or we don't want them to get think that we're too smart. We also have to smile, but not be too smiley, because then it's kind of like the Sambo, whatever.
You are preaching tonight, girl. You preaching.
Hold on, this is the one. We have to be so careful about the words that we say, even with the tiniest nth of emotion can be, so I got some feedback on today's meeting.
Girl,
and
bye.
you said that you were getting a little defensive and you were a little bit angry. And I think that this is just a teachable moment. Like, all I said was, hey, so have we thought about, A, B, and C? Like that messes with our minds, because again, when we have these good jobs, and again, there is this fear, at least for me, there was so much fear attached to damn near everything. And corporate will have you scared, for 30 years down the line. Like, you better have, $8 million in your retirement, because when you turn, 83, you won't be able to live your lifestyle. So that's why so many of us, remember we were talking about Adelia before we came on, like, that's what I love about Adelia. She said, just do the math. Like, we almost like when we like people that have never gone anywhere telling us how dangerous some place is. We don't think that we have enough money to do anything right now, let alone to stop working, to retire at 8, or we, or like got the 2 walkers or things like that, or unfortunately incapacitated or dead. Like, because we've never, again, we just follow the path. No, it's like we have so many options. I'm telling you, I'm like a toddler sometimes. Like, nope.
You learned a new word. Nope. I know.
Yeah, just like, and I used to feel bad about it. I used to be thinking about it for weeks. Like, man, or like, even if I said, yes, I am coming, but hold on. Hey, so plans change. I just want to let you know I'm not coming after all, but thanks for the invite. Like, I would be thinking about it. Like,
agonizing. No, ma'am. No.
Now I'm like, I'm being flaky. Like, we are so stuck in these places, and they are not thinking about that. Like, I used to apologize for things sometimes, and they would be like, huh? Oh, no, I didn't take it as that way. But I was so sick about things that I had to apologize the first time I see them next. It's just like, again, everything is our fault. The onus is always on us to be, Wonder Woman, Superwoman. Also, we got to be the Hulk, like, we got to be Captain America. Like, we just have to do all these things to everyone, when in fact we're nothing to ourselves. We are not even thinking about ourselves on this list of all the stuff that we got to do. We don't show up anywhere on that at all. Okay.
But having this space, I think, allows us, like you said, to even have this conversation so that we can reflect on what we're really doing. And for me, it has created, I have time now. I literally have time to do things. Not only that, since we talked about, the weight gain and that unexpected kind of thing, but you all know something else that's been unexpected. I'm sleeping. Girl, I sleep. I was always a napper. Girl, I will take a nap on you in a New York minute. I don't care if it's 10 o'clock. If I feel sleepy, I'm going to bed because there's nobody checking for me. No, there's nothing that I
Right.
need to do. And
Right.
you know, April, that thing for me, I think we talked about this. When I was at home back in the States, of course I'm sleeping, but I wasn't really sleeping. But
Right.
sister, I wasn't dreaming either. It
Mm-hmm.
never dawned on me that, girl, you ain't had a dream, like a sleepy dream
Right.
for the last 4 years. Don't people dream when they're asleep? It never hit me. Because when my feet hit the floor in the morning, it didn't matter what the dream was anyway, girl. I had to get dressed and go to work and, make the donuts. Here, when I wake up, I don't jump up immediately because nobody's checking for
Right. I
me.
just kind of lay there and yeah,
I
yeah,
set my own schedule.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I have
yeah.
noticed that since I've been in Asia in particular, girl, when I tell you dreaming, I'm dreaming up businesses I don't even want. Like, wait a minute. I'm not trying to do another business. I'm trying to pare down. When I tell you, I'm talking about dreaming. Not
Yeah.
only am I dreaming, these are great ideas. I'm like, girl, write that down. Even if you don't do it, somebody
Right.
share it with another sister. That might be an avenue for another sister. But the fact that I am sleeping, resting, and
Mm-hmm.
dreaming again and creating out of these dreams, that whole aspect of creativity for me has been like really one of the positives, like straight out the gate, because this was something that wasn't happening for me when I was at home, in the rat race doing, girl, I had no time for no dreams. What do you mean dreams? I had it in April. I couldn't remember it in the morning, girl, because the first thing on my mind was, okay, little Johnny didn't have his homework yesterday. You got to call his mama. I
Right.
didn't. I didn't have the space to even reflect if I had had a dream the night before. So
Mm-hmm.
now, given the space and the time to reflect, I have noticed that my creative I'm a creator again,
There you
girl. I
go.
haven't created
Mm-hmm.
in 5 years because of the stress. I've worked in a very toxic kind of work environment the last year or so in my career. And so I wasn't creating anything. That was all about survival and an exit plan.
Right.
How do I get, child, show me to the, no, don't show me to the door. Get out my way so I can get
Right.
to
And I
the
would
door.
show myself out.
I'm forward roll right on up out of here. Y'all don't have to worry about me. I used to joke all the time. Y'all ain't got to worry about me. I promise you, on the last day of school, I'm a forward roll all the way down this hall to a limousine. I'm out. You ain't got to show me to the door. I'm on my way out. But that kind of stress did not allow me to be my creative self. And
Mm-hmm.
so, one of the benefits for me, disconnecting and being in a place, in a space where I can slow down and I don't have to worry about doing the dishes. Like you said, I don't always have to worry about cooking my own food. It allows
Mm-hmm.
me to be a creator again. And
Mm-hmm.
so now I could wake up in the morning. I got 5, 6 business ideas, girl. What y'all want to do? I got 5, 6 ideas about how I want to switch my room around.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make this and make that. Have you noticed anything like that for you in terms of creativity? Have you created another space, or has this being away allowed you to? And we'll get to the business part too, because you're looking at two entrepreneurs. I'm a reluctant entrepreneur. April is just she's flourishing in her entrepreneurship. I came kicking and screaming, but it's outgrowth of that creativity that now I
Mm-hmm.
can see other avenues for making money. Where when I was sitting behind the desk as a teacher,
Yeah.
I have been saying that, who's gonna hire you, girl? You 50, you making top dollar in this field. Where are you going? Nobody's gonna pay you that if you leave here.
Mm-hmm.
And so going from that to being able to really sleep, rest,
Yeah.
reflect,
Mm-hmm.
and step back and say, oh, but I can use my talent in this way. I can teach anything. I can create an ebook. I can create a class. I can do all of these creative endeavors. I didn't have that space
Right.
then. Have
Yeah.
you experienced anything like that with an increase in your creativity, in your creative
Have
space?
I? So I the last time I went back to Phoenix, I brought one of my sewing machines. I've not sewed. I have 3 sewing machines. I love to. I've been sewing since I would be making Barbie clothes for my sisters, since a child. I've started sewing again.
Yeah.
I started painting again. I started singing around other people. I was just in the studio earlier this week. Oh, thank you, Dee. She's wonderful. Um,
Yeah.
Make sure that you subscribe to HND Abroad as well.
Girl, we're
They're
gonna hit everybody.
they're
We look on the way out the door, everybody
yeah, yeah,
shines.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
raise their hand.
yeah,
Every
yeah.
YouTuber in the
Right.
chat gets love.
So I normally just sing in the house. I don't sing in public. My son has heard me like sing. People have heard me like carry a tune or whatever. I was in the studio Friday laying background tracks on a song, like just
Stop
having me a good old time. I did
it.
Monday and Tuesday. I did a full day metal arts workshop. So I created a metal sculpture. Yeah, just poems coming to me,
Yeah.
and just like you said, having the like when I would used to wake up, same as I went to sleep, it was on my mind of what I needed to do the next day. And if I did wake up in the middle of the night, I got my pad by there, let me write, because I would wake up out my sleep like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. But just having that regenerative rest. I think that that's where it's coming from. Also, we have room, but also we are resting. We are
Yep.
sleeping. Like sometimes, like I would just wake myself up because I done been like, what's going on, or like I wake up and I got like, like that's the type of sleep, like that nap sleep we used to get when we were little, just
Come
like
on.
I'm waking up feeling refreshed, feeling
Yeah.
rested. Like you said, I'm getting up out the bed when I feel like it. And I do
Mm-hmm.
what I want or I don't want to do, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't feel anything about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the people that are in my life are very easygoing. They're like, okay, because they understand. They do things that they feel or don't feel like doing. Yeah. Like there's no
Yeah.
rat race. There's no internal pressure. Because here's the
Yeah.
thing, we can make all of these external changes. We can set up these boundaries. We can, just kind of pare down some of the relationships that are just no longer serving us or they're just no longer for us. We can begin to declutter our lives and our phones and our emails. We can do all of this stuff. But very similar to forgiveness, the very last person and the hardest person to forgive is yourself. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same way with, it was so difficult for me to honor the promises that I made to myself, for me to uphold these boundaries because it was uncomfortable. What was comfortable was volunteering for work,
Yeah.
was, working, letting tens of thousands of dollars, leaving it, just giving it away to companies because I wasn't using my vacation time. And it's like you use it or you lose it.
Yeah.
Me, even being raised to people, you go to work when you're sick because you want them to send you home versus you call in because you want them to see you're sick. Just none of that
You're
exists
crazy.
right now. But it's also because we don't like, it's not what we want. It's
Yep.
not what serves us. It's not what feels good. It's not what, that's what we choose not to do. Because there's plenty of people in San Miguel that are on the struggle bus.
Yeah.
There's many of them because, again, it is not really them. Again, two
Mm-hmm.
things can be right at the same time. They dogged us out. They did us dirty. But
Mm-hmm.
how are we doing ourselves dirty? How do we treat ourselves? Are we a
Mm-hmm.
friend to ourselves? Are we speaking, at the retreat, the Job Liberation Virtual Summit, it was put on by Dr. Kamani and by Marissa. Hey, Marissa. It was put on by them, and I was the moderator and the MC, and it was just such a beautiful thing. But one of the things that in Alicia Renice's session, she said, treat yourself like you would treat a baby. Why did that, like, even talking about it now, like
Woo,
I
woo.
started
I
crying.
know.
I started
Mm-hmm.
crying because when I compare how I treat myself to how I treat a baby, like I have been crying, I've been in pain, I have been sad, I've been scared, I've been hungry, I've been all of the things, just left not nurtured. And would I ever do that to a baby? Oh my God,
Woo,
no.
woo,
We
mm.
hold babies, we will stop, drop, and roll and knock our own head
Yep.
if we feel we're about to fall. We cherish babies. we will, risk our life for a baby. Like, just all of you who are listening, just think about how precious babies are and compare that to what we are doing to ourselves.
Mm.
And I just mean hungry for love and hungry for assistance. And sometimes babies just want to snuggle up, they just want to be held. Are we treating ourselves like that? Look, I'm telling you, I just was like, and I even came on because I was trying to get it together. Because in between sessions and things like that, I would talk to them and ask questions and stuff. And I came back because I'm sitting there listening to everything, and I was just like, I was trying to hold this together, and I just started crying. I'm like, that touched me so much. And me crying in front of, I don't even know how many people were there. It was like close to 400, I believe, and that were watching live at any given time. And I'm crying in front of all these women, where if you would have told me, I'm not about to cry, okay, because I'm not about to look weak. Get it together, April. Hope you put a hope. I just would have been like this. But I needed them to see me crying in front of all these people, because it's okay to cry, and it's okay to have these epiphanies to where you're like, I am not treating myself like a baby. The way that I was treating myself and disregarding my needs and what I need to be nursed, CPS would have been called, okay? They would have took me out.
They would have took you away. Your inner child could have very well called the people on you because of the way. Yeah.
So I'm telling you, when she said, even talking about it now, because of just how like that hit my soul when she said that, like, what? Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, that was a whole word. That was a whole word. How we treat ourselves. And then we expect that the world will treat us any better than we're treating ourselves. They say that you teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
You're your first teacher. You teach the world. They watch, whether we know it or not, or want to admit it or not. Folks are watching how you treat yourself. And if you don't treat yourself well, that is the go ahead. That's the sign for, oh yeah, well, she'll take that.
Right.
But since we put them all on notice, no, ma'am, not anymore. Not anymore. And I hope that the takeaway today is that you can see and hear through our transparency the experiences that we've had, both positive and negative, and that you can use this somehow in your own experience to elevate, to maybe forego or to sidestep some of these common things that, these are really common things that you may encounter as you are leaving to even, maybe travel abroad or to move abroad or to just pivot out of a toxic job, whatever it is, whatever that big change is that you need to be at peace and to be happy and embrace some ease. I hope that you can see what we're talking about and say, well, Doug, okay, at least I won't do that. I'll be on the lookout for this. We know be one of the things that could happen, and so I'll be on the lookout for that. And maybe you could come through that experience with a little more ease and a little less trauma, and it won't take you as long as it has taken us. So, sister, wait a minute, because we've covered quite a bit. We did the physical, we did mental, we did how our creative endeavors have prospered. We got to get to the whole finance part. Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know. At the end of the day, what's happening? And I'll let you go first, because that's all I talk about is money. So everybody already knows. Everybody knows my play. My whole little playbook has been out here in the YouTube streets forever. But how has this impacted you in terms of finances? And we can do both of those together. Your business endeavor. What are you doing? What are you creating over there? Because I know you are. And
so,
how has this helped you?
Okay, so in 2022, it was June of 2022, I realized that I needed to have an intimate relationship with my money. I realized that I had some issues with money, like some problems, not money problems, but I had some problems with it just from being a single mom and getting that like anxiety of like, when they swipe the card. I had no idea like how much was coming in, how much was going out. And, I would check from time to time, but I avoided my bank account. I avoided like looking at how much debt I had because I had some serious medical issues. Insurance wasn't paying for it. So I was over $100,000 in debt. And I just had to face it. Like, I'm done running from all these other areas in my life. I'm done running from myself. Like, I need to, it's not enough to have, the money to pay the bills. I need to not have this like knot in my stomach when it's like time. Like, just look at your account. So I wrote down everything that I was paying. Of course, I saw some things like, oh, I didn't know I was still paying for that. Saw some areas of stuff I'm not using, so I cut that out. But yeah, I paid off in about 9 months. I paid off over $100,000 worth of debt because I knew that I needed that like monkey off my back. Like I needed space, bandwidth, emotional bandwidth. I needed space to even think about me going someplace else instead of just feeling so ashamed about this debt that was racked up, literally saving my life. But still, it was like, society tells you, well, at this point, I'm supposed to have this and I'm supposed to have the savings. And like, I burned through my savings. So that $100,000 plus in debt was what was after, like, I just ground my little savings down. But also, yes, we do have to talk about money, Gail. And that's why, I'm here saying it now because there is a particular shame, guilt, shame, and condemnation that comes from having debt. And it doesn't matter how you got it. And what is the point of thinking about, well, I got all of these, just say handbags, or, I was like a cake mama to this, dude, or, woman, however it is, or I just, wasted it going on vacations or coulda, woulda, shoulda. That doesn't matter because we can't, go back in time. So what are you going to do about it to pay it down? But I paid that debt off simply so that I could feel at peace and get from under that shame. And that is something that, if the debt comes up again for some reason, then I probably am going to have to work. Probably have to work on that again because I just felt like so just bad. But during that time as well, I couldn't do both. Like, I didn't have it in me to run my businesses. So I just stepped away. So there was less money that was coming in because if you set it up right, okay, you got to have an affiliate relationship.
Sister, tell it.
So even though I'm talking about not logging in, I mean, I had emails, like a year and a half worth of emails, not taking any clients, not doing anything. Of course, that put me like I wasn't able to pay myself as much as I had been. But when I stopped working, because I had to do it, I had to I didn't have it in me. This was when I went from workaholic, starting all these companies, working all these companies. They had the nerve to all be making money. So then it's like, well, that's the point of being an entrepreneur. That's, we can sleep when we die, or it's like whole hustle culture. And even though it didn't feel right to me, that's just what, that's what an entrepreneur is. So I'm making money. So it's like positive reinforcement, but it was just wearing me out. So anyway, when I stepped away from that, I'm just like, yeah, I just left everything and I was done. I like in 2022, like I said, when I tallied up the debt, I'm like, okay, well, something got to happen. Something need to shake. Okay. So I went back as like, I started taking on clients for my legal and regulatory space. Right. So I'm doing that, but I missed working with business. So I missed being like a living testimony to Black women, business owners, Black women who left a job to find their happy. Because, like, what happy? Because a lot of times people would be like, look, well, I had to do this. I had to do that. Okay, well, that's you, right? I'm not doing that. And I didn't.
Cut those people off. Cut them off right away.
Good for you.
The naysayers. Put them.
Yeah, or just like people who, like, when we get these dreams, when we get visions, when whoever you believe it comes from downloads something to you that is for you and for you only, other people can't see it. Just like when we say, well, we're moving, whatever, like they only know how they would feel about something, how they would react to something. So like I said, I missed working with Black women, and I missed, like, I guess being, oh, okay, okay, put me front and center. I don't know if you left, but okay. Well, okay, I guess I'll keep talking. I missed, like I said, being a living testimony. I missed being able to use my experiences, as she mentioned, my traumas, my just going all around the mulberry bush. And there we go. I was like, okay, she left, but I kept talking. To be able to really help Black women. So I offloaded my clients. I have my last client that I'm offloading them. So by the end of the year, so I'm going to end my year and begin my year being solo dolo, no clients, and really being able to focus on what is next for my business. All those businesses that I created, I moved them earlier this year under my nonprofit that I got in 2019 called Valuable Lessons. And I had it and I had meant to do all of this stuff with it, but it just wasn't time, and timing is always perfect. Timing is just so divine. And it's valuable lessons, but it's valuable lessons for Black women. And all of my businesses, again, moved under their brands of the nonprofit, but I'm building out a course that is helping women do what I did. They're self aware. They know that it's time to change, but they're like, how? Like, how do I start to establish these boundaries? How do I, put myself first and begin to prioritize myself without guilt? And I'm doing that. I'm also going to start group coaching. Of course, poetry. Like I know her. Okay, girl, bye. See you later. Hasta luego. Um,
Oh, we only have friends. These are only sisters in our chat. I tell everybody, we don't even know what subscribers are. Everybody that comes here, girls, quickly.
okay, there are
We're all-
homegirls.
Yep,
Yeah.
always.
Okay. So then I'm taking my other business and it's going to become a faceless YouTube channel. People know what I look like because my picture is there, but it is going to be 100% donation based for any of the resources, for any of the courses, the memberships that I have. They're going to be donation based, and every last dollar is all of the proceeds are going to go to have funding sources for Black women who want to start a business, who want to get a certification, who want to take some time away to have a sabbatical. And then my third, it probably sounds like a lot, but it's not. And then this house that I'm in, I got this house. It has a name. It's called the Soul House, SOL, because I'm solar powered. I need like sun big time. And as soon as I saw this house, I just saw Black women here in the pool, sitting on like the terrace, reading books, just doing watercolors, all type of things. So I'm going to have at least once monthly something called guilt-free luxury. It is going to be 4 nights, 5 days where you come here and you get to have somebody wait on you hand and foot. The housekeeper is going to change your linens. She's going to swap out your, fluffy terry cloth robe. Someone will be here to make all the meals. Someone is going to pick you up from the airport, take you wherever you want to go in the city. It's almost like you'll have a built-in concierge to whatever you want or don't want to do. Maybe you just want to sit outside. Maybe you want to sleep. Like it really is doing these things, having the luxury of time, having the luxury of space, having the luxury of peace and rest, but being in a, commonly considered luxurious environment. Because like I said, you cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube. Once somebody has held space for you, please. Yeah, you can't go back. So that's what I'll be offering here. So those are my things.
Someone wants to know where April is. April's in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, which is a
Yeah.
beautiful mountain town. Oh my gosh. I'm
Mm.
telling you, you could very well be sitting, and this happened to me. I was sitting in an Uber, and God is my witness, a man on a horse with a cowboy hat
Yeah.
pulled up next to the taxi.
Yep.
I was like, Lord Jesus, would you look at the Marlboro man?
Yes.
It's so picturesque. It is
Mm-hmm.
so beautiful. It's close to Querétaro. I think
Yeah.
you would fly into Querétaro and then you could
Yeah.
bus over, take a car or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But April, as soon as you open up the doors, as soon as this is off the ground, sister, please send me an email because I'm telling you, I was there recently at Casa M with Michelle. And when I tell you I got the best night's sleep in that bed,
Oh, that bed is so comfortable. No matter which one.
I
Yeah.
was moving so fast though, and I think I might have spent 4 or 5 days there when I literally could have spent weeks just there relaxing. So sister, when you get it going, you got to come back. You got to come back so that we can talk about this aspect of your business journey. I think you may have mentioned 4 or 5 different businesses. So when I talk about, I'm telling you, sisters, I somebody asked me about this, like, why would you start a business when you didn't want, you didn't want to even be a business person, you were retired. I feel like this, as if I'm going to be on YouTube or on any platform telling Black women that you can pivot out of a toxic job or that you can retire and live abroad, for me, you damn well better have been able to do it yourself. I feel very comfortable saying, yes, I can say it with my chest. Yeah, you can do this because I did it. I was the least likely to start a business. That was never anywhere in my purview. Never thought about it. But with Stephanie's support, starting the YouTube channel, I took her class, Get Your Next 3 Clients, girl, not even knowing. I'm just like, okay. It feels like the next logical step. And literally within a month, had my next 3 clients. This thing was up and running. And I was like, okay, this is a runaway train here. I am saying to you, if you are in a toxic work environment, if you are just ready for a change, I know you hear April. April got a whole house over there. She about to start a whole retreat. We are telling you ways that you can pivot out of that. You can pivot out of those situations. You can make money. Trust me, if an employer is paying you 6 figures to do what you do,
Yeah. You need a 10x that easy. Yeah. And don't be the ones who's doing job. I used to be like, oh, I'm working the backfill role. So now I'm doing like job for 2 and 3 people. Please. Yeah. Please.
you can do this. You can absolutely pivot out. We talked a little bit about money mindset. That is absolutely going to be important. And that's one thing that we do over at From Lack to Legacy with our 1,000 Black Women Brokerage Account Challenge. Everybody needs money. Everybody needs to understand how money works. And for most of us, the first step isn't even getting into investing. Most of us, the first step is going to be, what is your relationship with your money? Because it doesn't matter.
Right.
You can have a ton of money, baby. If you got a bad relationship with money, if you don't think you deserve this, if you're working through any of that stuff, you need to start there.
Yeah.
Because inevitably a fool and his money is soon departed. And and so we do I think a really great job of taking women who may feel like they're behind the gun. They started late. I don't know enough. I'm not into technology. All of those things that we tell ourselves that prohibit us from understanding money and how money works. And that's what we do at From Lack to Legacy. It's like, girl, get in here. Get in here. It's a safe space that we have curated for Black women and Black women only. I get calls all the time from men. You know, I get bunnies call. Everybody calls. Can I? No, ma'am. You absolutely cannot. No. Because we have curated a space where we can go in and talk about how we got here and be totally vulnerable. Lord knows I have told all my business in the group, but I understand that I am with sisters. And these women, you know, we basically kind of found each other and we're a support for one another. So if that's you, if you are like, girl, I don't know what to do with no money, I don't know how to invest, I don't know what to do, that's okay. It's okay. That's all of us. And we are here to help you. So that was a business that I started as a result. I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. They told me, you can't do nothing else, girl. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You've been doing this 30 years. Well, shoot, I can teach people what I learned. And from that turned into a business. So what I think you can see from both of us is that you have God-given gifts and talents that you can monetize. Girl, you can monetize. You can teach somebody to do what it is you're doing. You can teach from your skill set and you can absolutely turn that into a business. So I want you all for real, get over to April's email list. I have it posted up here now.
What is all that down there? Like, no,
wait a minute.
Copy and paste from the chat. No, remember I gave you the / subscribe. We
got everything, girl.
Yeah,
we got all of it.
It's in the chat.
In the chat. Yeah. We got 35.
The chat I gave you. No, the chat I gave you in our chat.
Okay, I'll put it in.
Yeah.
That was
/ subscribe. Yeah.
Okay, that is a little easier, isn't it?
Just a wee bit. Also
watch this.
Okay,
watch my.
Okay, because you got this.
She in there.
Hey, there you go.
She in there.
something
Y'all get
else
over there.
too, that even though that's why I was like, it sounds like a lot, but maybe I work 4 hours a day, maybe, if that.
Yes.
Some
April,
days I
tell.
don't be doing nothing. I don't feel like
Well,
it's on.
wait a minute, sis. I'm taking November and December off. Where did you hear what I said? Now go and
Right,
call and tell your employer today you want to take November and December off.
right.
I'm taking it off because I need it. I've put in the work.
Mhm.
And if you don't know, then you should know. Everybody knows. I'm leaving Thailand. I've been here a year and a half, and I'm moving on to Malaysia.
I
And
can't
I
wait.
want to move,
I
girl.
can't
I
wait.
want to move in peace. I
Yeah.
want to with ease and
Mhm.
trying to, take on clients and to maintain the schedule that I was, used to over the last 8 months. It became really clear to me. It's like, no, ma'am, you cannot do that, what you were doing at the pace and the rate you were doing it, and move and take care of all of the loose ends. And so
Mhm.
I gave myself 2 months off. And
Isn't
you
that
can do that.
wonderful?
When
Yes.
you pause, you can say, "Oh no, and I can dip my toe back in and open up my calendar whenever
Mhm.
I feel like it." And
Right.
so I don't want to shoot anybody any sunshine with this starting a business. So yes, it's possible. But let me tell you this, because I don't know if we talk about it enough. You are going to work. But
Mhm.
my thing was, do I want to work hard for somebody who tells me I can't go to the bathroom till the end of the day? Or do I want to work
Oh.
hard for me when I can close my computer anytime I want? I don't
Mhm.
want anyone thinking, well, it's so easy. You start a business and the clients fall in. No, sister, it's a lot of marketing. You're going to have to market. Once you create a digital product, that's great. That's the beginning. But you got to market that joker too. It's not going
Mhm.
to sell itself. Once you start a class and create a class online, and it could be the best class in the world, you still have to, there's a marketing piece to that people have to know where your product is. And so
Mhm.
there is that aspect of it. So yes, it's attainable. Yes, it's the best job I ever had in my life.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm not going to be my own toxic boss. I'm going to turn
Right.
this computer off when I need to. And when I recognize what I recognize is, girl, part of the reason you packed on this weight is because you're sitting here working so hard and you won't look up. Now
Mhm.
I'm saying, okay, Sandra, it's time for you to look up. You've done that work. You've laid the groundwork. You can look up. You can close that computer for 2 months. You can do whatever you need to do to take.
Mhm.
I don't have to ask for permission. I don't have to
Right.
do no paperwork. I don't need nobody telling me I ain't got no PTO. I got all the PTO I need. And so if you are afraid to leave, I would say, I get it. Girl, I
Mhm.
get it.
Yeah.
But step through that fear, work through that
Mhm.
fear, start working on whatever it is that you think that you have to offer the world. Start packaging it, start talking and networking with other sisters, because now I can say it with my chest. If I did it, you could do it. I had absolutely no business experience. At least April was in the field. April was in corporate America. Girl, I came straight from a classroom like, well, I don't know what to do. Where the crayons? Where the markers? What we talking about over here? And if I can do it, if I can pivot out like that, surely you can also pivot out as well. But I do want to say that there is work. This is not child's play. You will have to do things proper and in order. You
Yeah.
need, you know, and my second little aside to that is, what you don't know, what I've learned is, a new entrepreneur is, what I don't know, I have to pay a professional. I
Yeah.
have to pay
Yeah.
somebody to do my taxes. I had to pay,
Mhm.
I have to keep somebody that I can consult legally. There are papers and files, filings that have to be
Mhm.
done every year annually. I don't want fool with that foolishness. I pay somebody to do it. It is so worth it. But yes, you can do it.
Yeah.
April got 25 businesses over there, y'all.
Yeah, with my couple hours a day if I feel like it. But you know what?
If
You do the work on the front end. Like it's like with anything, you build a foundation, you build you build it so that it can stand. Like, so if you are starting a business, yeah, you want to set your business up in a way that it can be scalable, that you can have things to delegate, that you do have a plan, that you're not always going to be working for your business and working in
yes,
and on your business, that your business can work for you. Yeah. Mhm. Okay, bye.
hey, my
Oh,
brother in
my
the
best
chat, hey,
friend too.
brother.
Oh,
Girl,
that's
yes.
my best friend too.
Look, I think we covered it all, ma'am. I think we
Yeah.
did a good job tonight.
Hmm.
I think if nothing else, I hope we gave you all something to think about. And I would hope that you leave this conversation knowing that it doesn't have to be perfect, number
Mhm.
one, that there will be challenges even to this soft life, and that you can certainly overcome those. Don't let those challenges deter you or make you think that, oh no, this is not the right choice. Perhaps I've made a mistake. Because you will have those moments. I can remember the first year waking up literally in the middle of the night, like breathless. What have I done? What have I done? I think that is normal. That's the brain's
Mhm.
way of keeping you safe. When you make a big life change like that, of course, you're going to have some misgivings or you may have some doubts. That's normal. Don't
Yeah.
let that thing scare you to the place where you're like, no, let me turn back and get back to safe. Let me get back to safety. Let me get back to home
Right.
base. Forge through the fear, because on the other side of that, baby, you get to glow like my sister. you, you
29-year-old son. No, I didn't.
Girl, you lit that chat up when you said 29. I think we all said, who was she say? Get that back again. Reroll that. Rewind that beautiful being footage, baby, because she did not say 29. Did she say 29?
Yeah, that
Okay.
man is 29.
April, please, before we get out of here, tell the folks where they can find you, what you want us to know, any social media links. Y'all definitely get over to, I'm going to post her YouTube channel again. And I want you guys to get over there and check my sister out.
Yes, so yes, you can find me Positively Prill on YouTube. Also, I do have an Instagram. It's there too. Same thing, Positively Prill. My assistant is like, okay, we do Instagram. No, not yet, but I'm gonna start posting on. Well, she gonna post, but on Instagram. Also, I have something that is. I was telling you earlier. I'm so excited about it that I'm going to release to my email list first for free 99, and then it's going to be a paid product sooner or later. But yeah, that's going to be coming up here in the next week. So if you want to be on my email list, it is positivelyprill.com/subscribe. Yeah, I'm going to be on Stephanie Perry's channel in 2 weeks. Yes, so November 9th, I believe. So I would love for you all to watch me over there. And yeah, I'm there. Like, you can find me. I'll be around. And yeah, I'm excited.
Me
That's
too,
it.
sister. I promise you, if you do not call me when you open the retreat up, the
Yeah.
luxury,
Oh my
I'm
God.
I will be there. I love San Miguel. I didn't get a chance to spend enough time, and I can't wait to get back there. So, April, thank you for sharing. I mean, when I tell you generosity of spirit, I just appreciate you being so open, so transparent. We tried this before, and you in San Miguel at the
Yes,
time,
the
weren't you?
power was out for 3 days. And then
Yeah,
Michelle's power came on like earlier in that day, but then it started flickering. I'm like, yeah, no.
yeah. But that's okay, because like you said, all in divine time, all in
Mhm.
divine time. And so I hope you found some value in this conversation tonight. If you did, please don't forget, like the channel, subscribe, share this with the sister. You know
Mhm.
somebody who would benefit from this information. And please, by all means, join us again. We will be back here. Will I be back next Sunday? I don't know. Set your notifications. That's what you got to do. Set your notifications so that you will not miss the next live video or the next upload that we have here on From Lack to Legacy. And that's all we got for y'all tonight. I will see y'all again soon. Take care, ladies.
Right, bye.
Bye, everybody.